Hello and welcome to another weekly update. Sorry about the shadows and the light. It's kind of it's really sunny all of a sudden here, and it's kind of also a bit cold, so I can't go outside. So I'm here because it's nice and warm, but the shadows and the lights are all over the place. But never mind. I'm going to keep this brief. Just a couple of things I did want to talk about. Finally back at home. Last couple of days, I've actually been at Modality Systems head office in St Albans because we've been hosting a Teams Health Hack Day, so aimed at the healthcare system in the UK, so that's the NHS, but private healthcare as well, and it's contribution and support from Microsoft, leading kind of some of the events and some of the strategic direction, and then doing some kind of hacking with some lab sessions and some a bunch of developers as well from kind of the healthcare space. So really good couple of days, really interesting to see what everyone's doing, and trying to sort of help where we can and bring some of our expertise and bring some of our ideas as well. So that was all really good fun, but now I'm super tired, so I need to relax the whole weekend and kind of hit it back on Monday. So anyway, a couple of interesting things happening in the week. The first is a blog post by a colleague of mine, Tom Arbuthnot, around the Teams app certification program. Now, it's funny. I've got this blog post that Tom's written. I kind of started writing one myself, and I just haven't had time to finish it, which is says a lot about the kind of the state of how busy things are. But anyway, I'm really glad Tom who's also busy but has somehow managed to find the time to write this. But anyway, there's a new program. It's called the App Certification Program. Let me just try and straighten up this camera because you guys are looking a little wonky. There's a new program called the App Certification Program for Microsoft Teams apps, and it's designed to provide organisations with a bit of confidence that their third-party apps that they or their users are installing, that they're okay. They're not kind of full of malware and spyware and stuff. Now, all apps have to go through a certification process anyway, but this is a useful kind of program because it covers some of the softer things around GDPR, around data governance and IG. So very important things, but not necessarily sort of code static analysis type things. So it's basically a big catalogue where developers and organisations who are putting apps into the store can attest how their application works, and what rules it governs, it adheres to, and things like that. So it covers security, compliance, data handling, that kind of stuff. But there's also some cool integrations as well with some of the other security products that Microsoft have, which is kind of interesting. So Cloud App Security, for instance, and there's also some integration with CSA Star as well. So if you're a developer putting apps into the App Store, then you can attest. I've done it on my app. I've attested. I've been through the process. It is not as bad or as scary or as onerous as you think it might be. It's actually pretty painless. I went through that process. My attestation is you can go and look at it on the web. It's on the app catalog. In the there's a kind of link to it. Tom's got a link to it where you can kind of see all the Teams apps and their security and compliance ratings. So good blog post from Tom. Glad he managed to write it up, making me feel bad that I didn't. All right, what else? So this is something interesting I wanted to draw your attention to. It's not actually new, but it's recently had a thing added to the end of it. So let me just tell you about it quickly. And it's for people coming to Microsoft Graph. So I've talked about Microsoft Graph plenty before. This is a 30 days of Microsoft Graph. So 30 blog posts, which will introduce you to Microsoft Graph and take you through some of its cooler features. So even if you're brand new to Graph, this is a great place to start. Even if you're not new to Graph, I guarantee you will learn something new in here. There's all sorts of things, about, let's just pick out some more advanced things like batch processing, using Graph with Flow, creating there's a lot of use cases here, but then also some other things around webhooks. Paging, next links, how they all work. So it's a whole different set of different things to look at. So Really good set of blog posts, and one's just, there's been like they did 30 days and they've just added a little update to the end covering MSAL, the authentication library, .NET v4. So very, very good to see, great resource. And finally, quickly to tell you that the Yeoman generator for Teams has just been released. So if you're just like, what, back up. So there is a Yeoman generator for Teams. So if you understand what Yeoman is and you know what Yeoman is, this is a really nice way of quickly making a Teams app in a kind of experience and using a set of tools that you already understand. If you don't know what Yeoman is, I'd say maybe don't worry about it too much unless you want to know what it is. It's it's a nice way. It's fairly big in the open source world. It's fairly big in the npm Java world, JavaScript world. You look into it if you want. If you don't want to, don't feel you're missing out. It's fine. But anyway, if you do use Yeoman, then you should know there is a Teams app generator for Yeoman, and it's just been released. So fairly big release actually to 2.9. It supports all the new manifest stuff, for new manifest files in Teams. It supports a bunch of different things. They've made it slightly more efficient as well in some of the compilation steps, which is kind of cool. There's some more build options for turning things on and off. So yeah, it's all around. If you use it already, then be aware there is a new version to go and install. If you don't use it, but you already use Yeoman elsewhere in your kind of build pipeline or in your kind of cycle of getting stuff done, then go and take a look at it. It might be interesting. And even if you don't, maybe you do want to go and have a look at the generator, because it's actually quite a nice way of being able to quickly help you create an app or a project, that's got things, those Teams developer platform features in it. So the bots, the messaging extensions, the tabs, connectors, the webhooks, all those sort of things are all built in as sample apps. It's a good place to kind of scaffolding up and starting for your next project. All right, I think that's everything that's happening this week. Again, I have failed to do some blog posts about the stuff I really want to blog about and really want to do a video about, because it's super, super interesting. So I'm going to try and do that next week, so look out for that. Meanwhile, have a super weekend, whatever it is you're doing, and I will speak to you again next week.